welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Hey, we're back. Guess who? Been a while, hasn't it? Hi, I'm Dave Black. This is Gary Music Miller, and you're watching Radio Days with Gary Music Miller. We have been gone for a while because this gentleman over here had a few little hiccups along the road of life, and we had to get those taken care of. And thankfully, we did. With the help of some doctors and God above, we got him taken care of, and he's back on the road to recovery pretty good. We thought we would come on and give you an update on what's going on with Gary, and also we're going to run down a little list of unfortunately, the singers and musicians that you might have heard of that have left us since we've been gone for the past, believe it or not, 6 months, and it seems like it's only been a couple of days. But
it really does. Yeah.
It's been a while. So we want you to know that our show that we do here is based on a lot of things, and we always question many things. And this show, the biggest question this show has ever asked, and this is it to date, this is a question, and it's how can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? Okay.
Is this thing on?
No. You remember that, don't
That's
you?
the biggest question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you remember that from Another Brick in the Wall?
How
can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat?
True.
Okay.
True. Yeah.
You got to have some levity now and then, you know.
Absolutely, and I actually forgotten that line. and people will come at me with lines from songs, and I'll say, you know what? While I was playing these on the air, I didn't have a chance to listen to them.
Now,
because I was getting ready for the next one.
Now, before we get into your little saga here,
yeah.
Do you want me to run down this list of our?
Well, I'll go ahead and
dearly departed, or do you want to?
Yeah, let me go.
Okay.
All I'm going to do today is, if you're not, I'm going to try to be as brief and, as I told Dave, as non-graphic as possible.
Okay.
A lot of you know what happened with me through Facebook. You may be friends with me on Facebook. If you're not, feel free to ask for my friendship. It's Gary Miller, and in parentheses, Gary Music Miller after that. And you can get a hold of me on Facebook, and you can actually go back probably prior posts. I'm not sure whether you can do that on Facebook or not, but you can read what I'm about to impart to you. People who've read Facebook know what's going on with me, and people, just word of mouth from one person to another, just talking about, did you hear what happened to Gary? So, to be as brief as possible, sometime we are recording this show, and I know we're doing this for posterity, so it's hard to tell when you're watching, but we are recording this in March 2023, and the last time we aired an episode was episode 19. We talked about TV theme songs. It was back in August 2022. So it's been actually probably 7 or 8 months since we've been with you. Sometime last summer or fall, I suffered a stroke. And there is what's called a silent stroke, which is something you don't know you're having, and you don't really show any of the symptoms. It just happens. And those are the best kind to have, evidently. But in August, about 4 days after we recorded our last show, which was August 16th, coincided with the death of Elvis. I'm still having a little trouble talking. Please bear with me. But on August 20th, I fell in my apartment. And I will never make fun of those people in the commercials that say, I've fallen and I can't get up. I'll never make fun of them or make light of them again, because I actually found myself in that situation. I fell. I tried to grab onto a chair, tried to grab onto a table. I couldn't get up, so we had to call 911, the EMTs or EMS or paramedics, whatever you want to call them, came. They picked me up, put me on my feet, and said, you, my friend, need to go to the hospital. And so I was in pajamas and whatever, and I just left with them. They put me in the ambulance, went to the hospital. Very, very lucky, blessed, whatever word you want to use. There was a lady on call, a neurosurgeon named Heather Pinkard Dover. And I think probably her maiden name was Pinkard, and she married somebody named Dover. Maybe it was a Ben. We don't know for sure. But Dr. Pinkard Dover did a CAT scan on me and found that I had a brain bleed. If you bring up what brain bleed, and I'm constantly saying brain bleed, I say it the wrong way. If you bring up brain bleed on Google, you'll find the word something or other, some word, stroke. So it apparently is where you bang your head, which I did when I fell. And the reason football players and motorcyclists not wear helmets. Pardon me. Time for some water. It's not vodka, as you might think. It's really water. But the brain bleed apparently is where you bust into your brain somehow and it starts to bleed. That's the best way I can put it. Pretty self-explanatory. She did emergency surgery on me and did brain surgery. And I don't remember. People ask me, what was it like? What did you feel? I don't remember being prepped. I don't remember going into surgery. I don't remember coming out of surgery. But I do remember coming out with like a turban on my head. And so they sent me home in a couple of days. They don't keep you, pardon me again, they don't keep you in the hospital very long for much of anything, I don't think anymore. I had hernia surgery back in 2015. They would normally, back in the 80s, kept me for 2 or 3 days. I had the surgery, and 2 hours later I was on my way home. So they don't keep you much for anything. And I apologize to you who've been hospitalized with COVID or whatever. I do think they keep you for that. But anyway, 2 days later, a day or two later, I was out of the hospital and back home. That's enough of a story right there. On August 30th, I fell again in my apartment. And we called EMS because I couldn't get back up. Called 911. They came and got me, and the guy, I guess you could call it tough love, said to me, Mr. Miller, first of all, they asked me, do you want to go to the hospital? I said, no, I just got home from the hospital. I don't want to go back. And the technician said to me, Mr. Miller, we think you should go, but if you fall again and we have to come back and I'm still on call, I'm on duty, you're going to go to the hospital. And like I said, it was tough love, sort of, you know, punch away. And it was the best thing the guy could have said to me, because I gave in. I said, okay, you're right, let's go. double check, never thinking this could have happened twice. But I got back to the hospital, they did another CAT scan, they found a second brain bleed. So they had to do another surgery. So one surgery keeps you out of commission usually 4, 5, 6 months. It's about 7 or 8 months now, I think, since we actually did this, did the last one. The worst thing is I'm still experiencing some pretty massive headaches. But other than that, so many things could have happened. I could have, the doctor said she thought I was going to lose the use of my left side of my body. And as you can see, I can use both sides of my body. I'm able to walk on my own, although I do use an aid to kind of lean on to keep me from falling again, because I don't know if I'd survive another surgery. And most people have a little trouble with speech, and nobody believes me when I tell them I'm having trouble talking, but I am having a little trouble talking, and I've talked for a living for 40 years, so I know when things are starting to, you know, act up a little bit. But the only thing we wanted to wait until we weren't going to have any more long interruptions, or any more interruptions, period, because we did a show every couple of weeks. We did an episode of Radio Days, and we didn't want to come back too soon, and we didn't want to have to interrupt, and hopefully we won't have to. I hope I've explained that probably more in detail than I needed to. There is another spot on my brain, and the doctor is going to be looking at it, I think another CAT scan in April, and it's not one that is immediate surgery, you know, type of thing. It's one that they're watching, they're medicating me, and giving me some medicine that hopefully will shrink this place in my brain now to where I won't have to have another surgery. But that's not till April, so we should be, no, I'm sorry. Let's see, this is March. I don't think the appointment's till May, so we should be able to be with you for a couple of more months without any bad interruptions, and hopefully I'll get through this CAT scan, you know, smelling like a rose, pretty much like I have done these two surgeries.
Well, if you take a bath.
Yeah, take a bath in rose water.
That's right.
And Rose doesn't mind my borrowing her water for that. But that's why we've been gone so long. It's all my fault. Poor Dave's going through it with me, in that he's helped take care of me, he's helped transport me. I'm not even going to try to drive again, but everybody said, one brain surgery, 3-4 months, you should be back to normal. Nobody can tell me what 2 brain surgeries within 10 days. Nobody can really, not even the doctors can really tell me, except that the headaches are normal. So I'm having to live with those, but I certainly, you know, as opposed to not being able to walk, not being able to talk at all, not being able to use half my body, I'm very, very thankful for Dr. Pinker's care, and all the doctors that have taken care of me. I should mention that after the second surgery, I went from the hospital to a rehab center called Encompass, which is in Barboursville, I think it's listed as being in East Pea Ridge. Does that sound right? They came up to see me a few times, and it was just, they didn't think I could go home and that my wife would be able to take care of me. And they're probably right, because I did a lot of rehabbing, a lot of walking, a lot of, and I went to the rehab. It seemed like I was there for a month. I think I was there for less than 2 weeks. And so that's another reason we've been delayed, because I had a lot of home rehab as well as the rehab that I had in Compass. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, and we're back. And I guess I should do this. I need to thank the people who have subscribed. Thank you if you're watching this now. We appreciate your patronage, and we hope that you will like and share, because if you like what I call the silver age of radio, golden age being back when Jack Benny and Burns and Allen and Red Skelton and all those guys were, that's the golden age of radio. The silver age to me is 60s through maybe today. I don't know what you call today, but if you like music of the 60s, 70s, 80s, we especially lean on the 70s and 80s. And I was at WKEE and its music director through the 90s and 2000s as well. If you enjoy that type of music, if you went to a concert, you have a favorite album, this is a good place for you to be. This is a good thing. It won't always be about my health. We'll be back to talking radio next time. And if you just like pop culture, and many of you do, we would appreciate you sharing, liking, subscribing. Dave can tell you what all you can do on Facebook or on YouTube. But again, feel free to contact me on Facebook, and I'll certainly accept you as a friend, unless the only person I've turned down was some woman who sent me a picture of her butt. And I said, no, I don't need this person as a friend. But seriously, reach out to me on Facebook. I don't Twitter much anymore, don't tweet, because it says I have over 3,000 followers, and I think 2,999 of them are either dead or don't use Twitter anymore, because anytime I would tweet something, I'd be lucky if 2 people read it. So I switched from Twitter over to Facebook, and I've got, I think, over 400 people who share Facebook with me. So, and you can always get a hold of Dave, I think, on Facebook.
I'm a sidebar. Pay attention to me.
Well, I mean, if you like, I can't find Gary. Go to Dave and look at his friends, and
don't look at my friends. Think twice.
I've looked at a couple of them.
Yeah.
You got some funny friends.
Well, there's no truth to the rumor that you went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Is there anything wrong?" And you started singing like Bonnie Tyler said, "It's a headache." Nothing but it. No,
Well, I did ask her about it. I said, "You're telling me all of this stuff. I'm going to lose part of my body, and I'm going to play guitar after this has been." She said, "Sure, you'll be able to." And I said, "Great, because I've never done that before. I've never played guitar before, so that's great."
I did the same thing with the doctor with the piano.
Exactly. That's an old joke that I should have skipped. But because I came so, they say that roughly 30% of people with brain bleeds don't get to the doctor in time and end up passing away. So, obviously, I'm very grateful, thankful that I didn't pass away. they say of the people that do not pass away, that survive, about 50% of those people have major disablements. They can't walk, they can't talk, they do lose part of their body. All of my surgery, you might be able to see a little bald spot up here. I don't know. Dave says it's as much hair as I have, it's grown over. But they did all the surgery on my right side, and they said that I might lose the use of my left side, and a lot of people do. So I didn't lose much, a lot of time, and the headaches, and the point I wanted to make is I didn't die, but a lot of people did. A lot of very famous people. It seems like every time I turn on the computer and read the news, somebody new in the music world or the acting world or whatever you call Lisa Marie.
Entertainment.
Entertainment world, yeah, entertainment. I mentioned, I think last time we did a show, Olivia Newton-John had just passed away, and I was very saddened by that. And then several people have gone that I played, people that I played when I was on the radio between 71 and 2010. So it's a shock to me to see these people go, but it's also a shock to me to look in the mirror and say, God, I'm in my 60s. These people I played are probably older than me.
Right.
They're in their 70s and 80s and so forth. So I asked Dave to put together a list of people that are gone and have died, passed away since last fall.
August,
Yeah, August. And I thought that would make sense. And after this is over, one of the people that passed away, I have a trivia question for you. And it's got two answers, and it's probably going to be very easy for some of you radiophiles that are out there, stereophiles. But it will be something you'll maybe want to look up on Google. So wait till the end, and let me ask you a trivia question, see if you can come up with the answer.
And also,
I'm not going to give you the answers.
Also, at the end of this, I've got a question for Gary.
Oh, okay.
So I've got a little trivia thing, and I'm positive, if he doesn't know this, I will be absolutely shocked.
Well,
And it's another song that I really don't like. However, we'll see.
well, long-term memory seems to be with me. I've played Beaches and Am on TV, and was able to answer most of the, I said, that's such and such, that's such and such. So some of my memories have faded, and some have not. So we'll see.
Okay.
I'm not going to blame it on my brain if I don't get the answer to your question.
I've got this list. I've got this list of people who have unfortunately passed away since our last episode. These are not. It's not everyone. It's just people that are probably more notable, that you would know by name, rather than someone who is not as near as popular, so to speak. And that's not to shortchange those people. They are going to be missed by their friends, relatives.
And the only reason I suggested you do this is because I came so close. Yeah. I mean, I'm very lucky to be alive.
If you have anything to interject on any of these names, just
Sure.
stop me and give a little word there about it. Okay, let's start off.
Word.
Yeah. Well, speaking of word, let's go. Coolio passed away. Did Gangster's Paradise and Fantastic Voyage was two of his big hit songs.
Yeah.
Gangster's Paradise, of course, they had a little tiff with Weird Al about him redoing it and using the music and everything. So.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Loretta Lynn. It might not have been pop music, however, everybody knows Loretta Lynn.
Music royalty. Her
Yes.
Sister actually followed me on Twitter. And when that happened, I wrote to her, and she sent me a nice little note back. And she didn't have to do that. Her sister, being Crystal Gabe, one of the few artists that I follow that actually followed me back on Twitter. So
And
that was sad.
yeah, next on.
Oh, you know what about Loretta? She's the only superstar that ever kissed me. Did I ever tell you that?
No.
I went backstage in the 70s. I was playing country music from 71 to 74 before Charlie Dunlap rescued me from country. And I got to play top 40, which is the hits of the day, the kind of music he played, and WCMI, WMX. I went backstage. I couldn't have been more than 17, 18 years old. And I got to meet Conway and Loretta. And at the end of the exchange that we had, for some reason I don't have a picture of that, but meeting both of those people, Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn, was, and Loretta, as we left, she just gave me a little peck on the cheek and kissed me. I'm glad it was her and not Conway. So.
He would have said hello, darling.
Exactly. So.
Yeah, at any rate.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Next on the list is, ironically, the killer, Jerry Lee Lewis. He went away.
I had forgotten that. I remember it now. But...
Next we have Irene Cara, who sang "Fame," was one of her big hit, and was in the movie and all that stuff.
I played everything Irene ever did. Did she do something? No, Kenny Loggins did Footloose. I was thinking she did something.
She did the movie Fame. She did the theme from that.
Fame was the one.
And next on my list, I had a crush on her for ages. Was Christine McVie from Fleetwood Mac. Oh man, what a great singer, great voice. Yeah. And then I thought she's just a good-looking woman. Sorry.
She was.
Next, one of the Pointer Sisters, Anita Pointer, passed away. Next, one of Gary knows a little bit about, Jeff Beck, one of the great guitarists of rock and roll, period. And it's just, that was a shame too.
Jeff was listed in the top 5 guitarists of all time, I
Fantastic.
think, by Rolling Stone and by Billboard. And he certainly got around, and I'll talk about him in a minute. Yeah.
And next up is maybe on the list by osmosis, maybe, I don't know, it's Lisa Marie Presley. Everybody knows who her father was.
That was a shock.
That was a very young woman.
I actually watched the Golden Globes, I believe it was, Sunday prior to her death. She was there with her mother when Austin Butler won the Golden Globe for Best Actor in Elvis, the movie. And of course he acknowledged her, and that was the last time I think she was seen publicly.
Yeah. Next up is Robbie Bachman. The name Bachman may sound familiar from Bachman Turner Overdrive because he and his brother were the founding members of the band.
Randy.
And Randy Bachman. Robbie was the drummer, I believe.
Robbie was the
drummer. And they produced tons of hits through the 70s and early 80s.
Yep.
So he passed away. Also David Crosby, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. I can't think of the other name of the band, the little group he was with early on, but it's escaping me. The next one you might not think of as a rock and roller, but he wrote so many songs that were hits for other people, and that was Burt Bacharach. Just a songwriting machine, and he made a lot of people a lot of money with a lot of songs that they did.
Warwick comes to mind as a person that recorded almost all of his songs.
He wrote songs for everybody. He wrote songs for the Carpenters, and you name it, he did.
Sure did.
Last on the list, I'm sure that there'll be somebody I missed, but I'm sorry if I did. It's not to shortchange me. Last is Bobby Caldwell. Some of you don't remember that name. You'll think, who? Bobby who? But Bobby Caldwell had a great hit.
It was.
That was just, he was like the originator, one of the originators of what's called blue-eyed soul. What you hear Hall & Oates sing. And he did what song?
What You Won't Do for Love.
Yep, What You Won't Do for Love. Great. That is a good song.
Yeah, it was a good song, and I'll mention the guy we've made a little bit of fun of because his hit song, had one note. I think it's over and over. It's the organ, and I'm talking about Timmy Thomas.
Timmy Thomas.
Yeah, you know that Timmy Thomas passed away, and he had a song called I can't remember. Why can't we live together? Yeah, and it was like. It was crazy. It was just an organ.
I think the note the organ hit was it was played like 20 times in a row.
Oh wow!
I think I counted one day because it was just so strange.
Yeah.
But that's my list, and Godspeed to every one of them.
Absolutely. And hope I don't join them soon.
Yeah.
So and you don't either. Hope none of you do, and I hope this finds you all in good health and in better health than I'm in. But. I felt good enough to do this, and I hope you enjoy.
Okay, trivia me up here so I can hit you back.
Okay, the trivia question I have regards Jeff Beck. Jeff was in a super 60s group whose name may make you laugh, but Jeff was in a group called the Yardbirds. And the reason I guess they shouldn't be laughed at is because the Yardbirds were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think maybe 92, somewhere in there. The Yardbirds gave birth to a lot of huge artists, and Jeff was one of them. And we got some sort of noise coming in on us.
They've got the air compressor going. They're filling up the truck outside. The tire was flat.
I don't know what it is. Is there a way for you to get rid of this whole part?
I can probably edit it, but maybe it's good without it.
Okay.
I don't know what the heck that is.
It's out here at the old West Virginia Broadcasting.
We are.
Somebody looked in on it.
Well, they checked on us here, but
They're probably trying to clean the place up. There we go.
There we go. Okay. It's just a rain delay.
Yeah, rain delay. Thank you. Jeff Beck, I was talking about him, and he was in the Yardbirds, so he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, as a solo artist or guitarist, and with the Yardbirds. And he was with the Yardbirds in 65, 66. He replaced a very, very famous musician, singer, artist, had a bunch of hit records. And he ended up leaving the group around 1966 and was replaced by one of the members of one of the biggest groups of all time, and again, a guy whose name you would know. I don't think he ever had a solo hit. But my question to you would be, who did Jeff Beck replace in the Yardbirds, and who replaced Jeff Beck in the Yardbirds? And they're both very famous people. And if we make it another 2 weeks or a week and a half or whatever, I'll give you the answer. But write in your answer, and why don't you tell them how they can get a hold of us and write to us. Yeah.
Okay. You can get a hold of them at rdwgmm@gmail.com. Gary can get those messages, or you can hit him up on Facebook or Twitter. Just drop a message. Either way.
Twitter not so much anymore, but Facebook's a good place to me up, and I'm sure people are probably typing in the answer right now. The old radio guys, but I know a lot of radio people do follow us and do check on us. We've been very favorably spoken about on the West Virginia Broadcasting History Board, and so.
Okay. Now let me get down to this.
Oh, you got one
Let
for
me
me.
get to this trivia question I've got for you. There was an artist, and I didn't, believe me, I didn't like the song. I couldn't stand it, actually. I
Okay,
thought it was stupid.
probably I loved it.
I just thought the song was dumb. What song did David either Dundas or Dundas do?
Jeans on.
Jeans On, exactly.
Yeah, well, my memory's not totally gone.
And that's one that if I asked most people that even listened to radio years and years ago, they would probably not know.
Who in the world is David?
He's a
Dundas?
one-hit wonder,
Um,
and
When I think of music in that period, I think of, I was at WCMI playing music from 74 to 76. 76 to 77, I played top 40 at WAMX, which was an FM at the time, trying to knock key off, which is kind of interesting because, maybe ironic, because now 93.7 is the dog, thinking about ratings now. I hope you all are being rated well. Did we get a note from the producer? When I think in 78, I transitioned over to key and was there for the next 31 years or so. But I think of those mid to late 70s songs, like Jeans On. When you mentioned that song, or when I mentioned that song, I thought of Chevy Van by Sammy Johns.
Yeah, that was...
A lot of one-hit wonder. It seems like to me, and a lot of people that you don't. Jeans On was a silly song. I agree with you. I mean, I didn't hate it. I played it, but it was, you know.
Just never did care for it. I thought it was silly and.
It's a silly song. Yeah. So, it's time for us to leave again. That might have been a note we got on there.
Once again, they're airing the tire across
Yeah.
the street on the truck. With that said, I think we might want to
Go ahead and get
wrap
out.
this up
Somebody's
and
trying to tell us
wrap
to
this
get
up
out
and
of
go
here,
home.
and they're trying to clean the place up.
Hey,
So,
let's remind you that we're coming to you from the West Virginia Broadcasting Radio and Television Hall of Fame and Broadcasting Museum. It's right in here. It's a great facility. It's a 1640 Florence Avenue in Huntington. You need to come and see this place. Get on their website. Check it out. It's just, you Google their name, you'll find it. It's all kinds of neat stuff to look at in this place. Plus, they have a wing over here that has all the inductees that are in the West Virginia Broadcasting Hall of Fame. You can see this guy's mug, all kinds of other
a lot of
people
TV
out there.
people, TV
No,
people,
TV, radio.
Zippy Sales,
Mhm.
Peter Marshall, Conchata Farrell.
Yeah.
Ernie,
We appreciate them
Ernie
allowing us.
Saunders.
We appreciate them allowing us to use their
Ernie
facility.
Saunders.
Yeah, Ernie Saunders is out there.
Yeah.
Big Ern. We
do.
appreciate them letting us use their facility as a backdrop here because it's so apropos to what we're doing.
Yeah, and the last question I was asked on our last show was, "Is that your home, Gary Music Miller?" I said, "No.
Which
This
it was.
is a unlocked radio setting, and you can actually see this when you come into the this and another one or two that are on display here, and then you see all these old TVs, old radios, old TV cameras, old pictures of, you know, it's an amazing place."
Yeah, so we appreciate them so much for them allowing us to come in here and do this.
We sure
Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe at the bottom of this video. Click the little bell button, smash it as hard as you can. That way you get notified of any new content that is posted. So,
Please do that.
and we would appreciate it because it doesn't give us anything. We're not monetized like most people
We're
are
not.
on there.
We are not. We are not.
But we do
We
appreciate.
only need a million more
Oh, yeah.
subscribers.
But we do appreciate people
We do it
tuning
for the
in
love.
and checking us out.
We do it for the love of radio, the love of older music, and it's my way of actually getting to mingle with the people that listen to me. when I was on key.
Okay.
And
We managed to turn this, what was supposed to be a less than 30-minute video into about 40 minutes, so
40 minutes.
we have done well.
yeah, for
So-
the first time back. Well,
Remember,
you know,
we appreciate each and every one of you watching. Thank you so much. We wish you nothing but the best.
absolutely. And when we mentioned that next show, God willing, I'm going to try to answer many of the questions you guys have sent in, a lot of them over the last 8 months, having to do with radio and music. And so the next episode you don't want to miss, because it's one of those that will give you some insight as to what I went through when I was off the air,
Okay.
was on the air. And I'm still got to share my most embarrassing moment, and that probably will do that next show.
Okay, with that said, I think we're done.
We are
So
more than done.
thanks for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful day today, and
We'll see you in a couple weeks, hopefully.
if we can keep the building together here, we'll be back with another one. So everybody take care and God bless. We'll see you.